Okay, this is part 2 of section 2 of chapter 8, and I'm going to do more translating than explaining because section 2 is really long. Albinus says, In hoc ornamento centum margaritae sunt, nonne hae margaritae pulchrae sunt? So Albinus says, in this piece of jewelry there are 100 pearls. Nonne. Remember our nonne question? Nonne. It's positive. He expects a yes answer. So you say whatever is after the nonne in the positive. These pearls are beautiful. And then you add, aren't they? Medos. Amica mea multas margaritas habet. My girlfriend has many pearls. Lydia. But said in hac taberna multa alia ornamenta sunt. But in this shop there are many other pieces of jewelry. Albinos. Medo et Lydiae tres annulos sine gemmis ostendet. Albinus, he's the subject here. He ostendits, he shows or points out. He shows 3 rings. And the rings are sine gemmis, without gems. And who does he show them to? Indirect object, Medo et Lydiae. Medus and Lydia. So Albinus shows 3 rings without gems to Medus and Lydia. Albinus says, Nonne hi annuli pulchri sunt? So again, we have a nonne question. It's going to have a yes answer. These rings are beautiful, aren't they? And then he says, Aspicite hos annulos. Look, this is the, aspicite is the imperative of a spigot, and you'll see that it is a number 3, and in fact it's a 3i verb. Look at these rings. Medos et Lydia annulos in quibus gemmae non sunt aspiciunt. So here's our little clause. So Medus and Lydia, what do? They aspiciunt, they look at whatever's in the accusative, at the rings. And this tells us more about the rings. In quibus gemmae non sunt, in which there are no gems. Lydia says, In his annulis gemmae non sunt. In these rings there are no gems. Medus Albinum interrogat. Medus asks Albinus, Quod numis constat annulus in quo gemma est? How many coins costs a ring in which there is a gem? So here are our little phrase. This is telling us more about the ring. How many coins does it cost? And what we're going to do is find that whenever we're talking about cost or price, whatever it is we're talking about is going to be in the ablative case. Okay. Albinus, let me get these out of the way. Albinus medo annulum gemmatum ostendet. Albinus shows annulum gemmatum to Medus. So shows, this is another one. This is a indirect object. It's in the dative. And gemmatum, we had gemma, gemmae for gem. That is the noun. Gemma. So let's look over here. It says annulus gemmatus is the same as an annulus cum gemma. Gemma is the noun, gemmatos is the adjective. So a ring with a gem is the same as a annulus gemmatos, a gemmed ring, if you will, or a ring with a gem. So, Albinus shows a gemmed ring to Medus, and he says, "Hic annulus centum numis constat." This ring costs centum. Remember, centum never declines; it's always just centum. It means 100. Numis, coins, and this again is in the ablative, so that's ablative of price. Medus says, "Quid? What?" Albinus, he repeats it. "Pretium huius annuli est centum sestertii." This is a type of coin. Sestertius is a coin. So the price of this ring, notice this is genitive of possession of this ring, is 100 sestertii. Medus, centum sestertii? Id magnum pretium est. 100 sestertius? That it is a great price. Albinus, aspice hunc annulum. Look at this ring. Pretium parvum est. Nam in hoc annula gemma magna est. The price is small, for in this ring, in hoc annulo, in this ring, is a great gem, or large gem. Quae sola nonaginta sestertiis constat, which, this is talking about the gem, which costs nonaginta sestertiis, 90 sestertii, 90 of coins. And notice these two, the case is ablative of price. Medus, num annulus sine gemma decem tantum sestertiis constat. So this is a question, a num question, which, if we remember, expects a negative answer. And this is Medus being his most clever. He says, a ring without gems costs, it's kind of like if the gem only cost 90 and the whole ring was 100. So he is saying then the ring without the gem should cost only 10 sestertiis. Albinus non respondet. He does not answer. Medus alium annulum gemmatum post albinum videt. Medus sees. What does he see? He sees what's ever in the accusative. Another gemmed ring. These are all accusative. Post albinum, behind Albinus. Medus says, hic annulus pulcher non est. This ring is not beautiful. Quot sestertiis constat ille annulus. How many sestertiis does that ring cost? Medus annulum qui post albinum est digito monstrat. Medus shows by means of his finger, so he's pointing out, or points out by his finger, the ring, annulum, qui post albinum est, which, here's our clause, which is behind Albinus. Albinus says, ille annulus quoque centum sestertiis constat. That ring also costs 100 sestertiis. Pretium ilius annuli tam magnum est quam huius. The price of that ring is as large as this. Sed amica tua hunc annulum amat. non illum. But your friend, your girlfriend, loves this ring, not that one. Medos ludium aspicit, quae annulum gematum ante oculos tenet. Medos looks at Lydia, who holds before her eyes the gemmed ring. Uh-oh, Medos is in trouble. Lydia says, "O quam pulchrum hoc ornamentum est." Oh, how beautiful this piece of jewelry is. Illud ornamentum, quod post tabernarium est, non tam pulchrum est quam hoc, neque illa gemma tam magna est quam haec. So, she says, oh, how beautiful. Illud, that piece of jewelry, and then we have our little commas, which is behind the shopkeeper, is not as beautiful as this. And that jewel is not, here's where we get our not as large as this. Remember our tom, quam, as, medos. Tam magna gemma ad huc parvum annulum non convenet. So great, large a gem is not convenient in fitting, or to fit, or to be appropriate. So he's kind of saying it's not appropriate to this small ring. So large a gem is not fitting to the small ring. Lydia, quae haec verba non audet, medo digito suo sostendit, in quibus noli annuli sunt. Lydia, who does not hear these words, of course not. So here's our little relative phrase. Ostendit, what's she doing? She's ostenditing. She's showing. What is she showing? She's showing whatever is in the accusative. She's showing her fingers, and it's suos because we're talking about Lydia's fingers, and she's the subject of this sentence. Shows her fingers to whom medos, medo, he's in the dative. This is our indirect object. In quibus noli annuli sunt, on which there are no rings. So she doesn't have any rings. Lydia, aspice mede, indigitis meis noli annuli sunt. Look, Medes, on my fingers there are no rings. Alae feminae digitos annulorum plenos habent, digiti mei vacui sunt. Other women have digitos, have fingers, annulorum plenos. Plenos goes with digitos, right? So other women have full fingers, or fingers full of what? This is the genitive, tells you of rings. So other women have fingers full of rings. Digiti mei vacui sunt. My fingers are empty. And Medos says, crumena mei quoque vacua est. My money bag is also empty. Thus ends section 2.